Hey friends, welcome back to the podcast. We are continuing our summer series, Summer Shorts.
I love it.
Right? Marriage in 10 minutes. I think this has been going great.
I love the short, concise, the information punched, like just fire hose.
Absolutely.
I think it's been great.
We're hoping that you are enjoying it. Share it, like it, do all the things, and hoping you're getting some stuff out of it. Anyway, so today's topic is assumptions.
So good.
What does it actually do in marriage? And I think one of the things we're going to talk about today is making assumptions of your spouse is one of the most common ways that distance and divide happens. Assumptions, this has been part of our marriage. I've always made assumptions about what you thought, how you look at things, because I always think the way I see things is right. And so I will observe it, and then I feel like I have a good read, and then now that's the narrative that I'm working with. And so we're going to jump into this because it is one of those things that can really create some divides, like I said. So
I think it creates like that drift that we talk about
Absolutely.
in so many of our episodes.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you just start thinking that it's like, well, they...
dot. Yeah, and so I will be hearing you in my own story. So I have this filter, which I haven't explained to you. I haven't asked you about it. And so, again, this is one of those most common ways that divide drift actually happens. And so how do you think that works, honey? Like, how does this part in assumptions kind of work in this whole thing?
So I think that it's really our past and our past hurts, our insecurities, our stresses, our expectations, or even like the previous conflict. It creates a narrative and a story that we're now telling ourselves. So we don't just hear the words that are coming at us. We're interpreting them in a specific way based on our filter, hurts, stress, all the things.
Absolutely. Yep.
And so we're also not even just looking at the words or hearing the words, but we're looking at the actions too.
Mm.
So it's like, if you like turn your shoulder quick to me or something like that, it's like, well, what did that mean?
Yeah.
And so it's
and
like,
it can confirm the thing that you believe, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't text me back right away. It's like, okay, well, you just don't care. Or they forgot, so then I don't matter.
Yep.
Or they seem distracted, so they don't want to be around me.
Totally.
And they didn't help. And this is the one that I fall into. So they didn't help, so they don't appreciate everything that I do. And so we just quickly fall into all of these like assumptions because of our stressors, hurts, all the things. So the dangerous thing is that assumptions don't just stay assumptions.
That's literally the hardest thing about assumptions, because I now assume, which then becomes a reality. So now I'm making decisions not based on my assumption or not based on reality. I mean, I'm making it based on assumption that I've now placed as a reality, which makes it very, very difficult because we now stop giving our spouse the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
And that's one thing. I remember you've told me this several times. It's like, I'm on your side. Like,
yeah.
And it's so difficult sometimes. And I don't know if it's my personality or it's, like you said, if it's past or anything like that. But literally, it's me having this story in my mind. And so then every time, whatever you're saying, I hear it through that filter. And it's almost like I forget you said yes 30 years ago, or you love me, or you're like my number one fan, or like all of these things. So it's so really difficult because I think about assumptions. It can affect how you talk. It can affect your tone. It can affect the way you communicate. All of a sudden, you're on one place and you're talking to me, and then the way that I respond, it's like,
how did we get here?
What? Yeah. What? Where are we? Like, how in the world did this just happen? And that's all because of these assumptions. Because, I mean, let's be honest, many marriage arguments aren't about what happened. They're about what I think and assume happened. I mean, when you think about that, that is absolutely incredible. Like, you and I could see the same exact conversation completely two different ways. And then if we're not talking about it, we're now operating as if those two views are absolutely correct.
And you feel it really deeply.
Yes.
Like it's like, this is my truth of the situation that's happening.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to convince someone of what they're seeing or hearing or feeling is wrong.
Yep, absolutely.
And because a lot of the times it's not necessarily that they're wrong. It's just you're trying to help them to see a different way. That's where it becomes really challenging. So instead of just assuming, we can start asking questions. So it's like, it's always what we say, like, get curious. So
thank you, Ted Lasso.
Yeah. So seek understanding and clarity before we're reacting. That's I think the hardest part is to take that pause and be like, okay, can you help me understand what you meant by saying, ask the question.
You know the discipline it takes to do that? Because I'm already feeling what I think you said.
Right.
And so now I got to hold back and go, wait. And then, but do it in a tone that's not like, oh, what'd you mean by that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's why we're always saying that it's like a lot of these things, a lot of the tools that we talk about, we're practicing them. We're not going to get them right every single time. Reminder. We can choose that curiosity over the assumption. And it's like, we can stop, we can pause, and we can ask the clarifying question, can you help me understand what you meant? Or what was going on for you in that moment? And
great clarity.
Or am I interpreting this correctly? A lot of the times when we get really in deep conflict or when there is something, we repeat back what I just heard.
You've actually asked me, what did you hear me say? Like you've asked me that. What did you just hear me say? Then I, most of the time it's kind of close, but like, see this big thing that I'm not saying that.
And what's really interesting about asking, what did you hear me say, is 20% of it is usually right, but 80% is filtered through emotion, stress, the story,
past, everything.
Yes, all the things that we discussed.
Yep.
We have to be really careful about our assumptions because we're not necessarily always hearing things correctly. And I do want to put like the caveat on this is that this isn't just for marriage. This is for friendships. This is for when you're talking with your kids.
Relations, just
this
across
is
the board.
At work. This is at church. These are in any relationship in your life, you have to be curious more than assuming.
Yeah.
We don't always know what someone's intention behind the things that they're saying are, unless we're asking that clarifying question.
And that's not weakness. Asking clarifying questions, asking for more clarity, that's not a weakness. Weakness is just assuming you know better. Because I know for me, and I'm speaking from experience, I would come like, well, I'm not going to, I understand what you're saying. Well, you understand the words I'm saying, but you're not understanding the intent. You are putting on the intent. And that's a big problem.
Yeah. And even one of the other things that you can do is you can say, this is the story that I'm hearing. In this moment, is this accurate or is this right? Or am I making this up? Those types of things, because it can really help to bring that clarity that you need into a situation where it can quickly derail and escalate into either conflict or the silent story that you're telling yourself. That's when that drift happens, because now you've created a story and narrative about your spouse that is likely untrue. Like if you're hearing he doesn't like me, he's ignoring me, he's not on my side, those types of things, likely that's untrue and there's something else going on. And either you're creating
something deeper.
You're creating distance, the spouse is creating distance, there's something else going on deeper. So you have to start getting curious and finding out, okay, when did I last see this pattern? Those types of things. Why curiosity is difficult is because it requires humility and how it.
That's exactly right.
Yes. It's like you have to like die to yourself. We always say that. Like,
I could have this wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that the story that you're telling yourself is incorrect. And so just get curious again. So this doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending that everything is okay.
No, that's not at all what we're saying here. But there is a way forward in that, remembering that most spouses aren't intending to hurt each other. Remembering that there is love there. We're not trying to take shots all the time. And if you're looking to have a healthy strong marriage, a component of that is giving grace before assigning blame.
So good.
So
yes.
Just assuming that how I heard it, I know my wife loves me. I know my spouse loves me. It can't be how I heard it. So I'm going to, again, go and ask clarifying questions, because we can address behavior without assuming motives, right? Assumption is not necessarily taking you down the right path to connection and understanding.
Yeah.
Likely it's taking it through your past, your view of what these words mean, and then creating a whole story behind it. Because the reality is there's a vast difference between what someone actually did and why we think they did it.
See, I think that if we could get that right there, a lot of the conflict would in any relationship would just dissipate, because it's like that is the biggest key. Like, say it again.
So there is a vast difference between what someone actually did and why we think they did it. Just getting that. I mean, honestly,
every main conflict in our life, in our marriage, relationships, anything, it's always because we think that they did this because of this.
You know what the scary thing is too, is when you assume the negative side from your spouse, you're actually saying, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
And even as I say that, I go, wait, that means all this time I've actually been saying to you, I don't trust how you feel for me. I would never say that because I don't believe that at all. Think about the other side of that. Now it's when I do assume the best, I am saying, I trust you.
Yeah.
I mean, how amazing is that? I mean, here's the truth. You, me, imperfect, right? We're absolutely imperfect. Your spouse is not your enemy.
Yeah.
Absolutely not your enemy. And letting that be our default mindset from the get. That's what it is. Default, you're not my enemy. You're imperfect, sure, but you're not my enemy. That will only strengthen your connection together.
Yeah, absolutely. So every week with our summer shorts, we're doing that weekly challenge.
Oh, love the weekly challenge.
I know, I do really love
honestly.
this because it keeps it fresh. It keeps it at top of mind.
Easy.
And we can do one little thing
Absolutely.
each week. So for this week, before reacting to something that your spouse says, does, you have to stop and ask yourself 3 questions. What assumption am I making? Is there another explanation? And have I actually asked them about this?
Wow, those are great.
So it's
okay.
Again, it's taking the assumption and just replacing it with a curious question.
Yep.
So what assumption am I making? Is there another explanation? And have I actually asked them about it?
Those are great stoppers for getting over those assumptions. I love that second question.
Is there an explanation?
Is there an explanation? Is there another way to look at this? And the answer is 1,000,000,000% always, yeah, there absolutely is. Every marriage experiences misunderstanding. The whole goal and point is not to eliminate them completely. If you're not arguing sometimes, what have we said? You're probably not communicating, right? You're going to have arguments. The strength comes on the other side of those when you work them out together. And so the goal is to stop letting assumptions then write the stories that aren't true. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So
stop the conflict, stop the drift.
Yep. Stop the conflict, stop the drift. Remember, connection grows when we seek understanding before judgment. Assume the best from your spouse. Summer Shorts, hope you enjoyed, and we're going to see you next time.